welcome everyone. Yes. Good evening and welcome everyone to Wedmore Parish Council meeting on the 18th of December 2019. Any apologies for absence?
Yes, apologies from Jude Candy, Laura Sampson, Sean Thurgood and David Huxwell, who sent his Christmas greetings to everybody.
Oh, sorry, yes I'm on. Since our last meeting I've had a full council. We've had two actually, there's one yesterday as well. Talked about the housing revenue account and how capital investment of up to nearly 5 million by Sedgemoor to purchase up to 33 new build properties in Bridgewater to provide new rented council homes. It was voted in favour unanimously. What else? Swada, it's something to do with drainage board, I can't remember, South West Association for Drainage something or other, went to that. Jeff Fear voted in as new chairman. NFU representatives there, very interesting discussion about flooding and how independent drainage boards must work together and get our MPs involved more, politicians to wake up to the problems with flooding. Because when it's really dry they're all panicking, and when there's a flood they're panicking, but nobody's doing anything in between, and it's only going to get worse. And they were talking about how in Somerset in the next 50 years could potentially be underwater due to climate change. So I've got to push on. Well, we've all got to hassle people to get something done about it.
This is something that the thing that was sent around by
yes.
Rob was.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But I think that is.
Well, I'm hoping to. I've said I'd go to that, but I've not heard back from them. And then I've had an Axbrew Drainage Board environmental meeting, and we talked basically about the problems with invasive aquatic plant species like floating pennywort, parrot's feather, water primrose, and zebra mussels. I've talked to Highways a lot about replacing the bollards up the top of the hill. All sorts of other things, and yes, I had a members briefing down at Sedgemoor about the Northgate development in Bridgewater, which is a leisure-based regeneration project based on a multi-screen cinema with food and beverage outlets. And then we had a full council meeting. There was a speaker called Andy Tiller. He brought in a petition to ensure more trees are planted to help mitigate the impact of climate change. We discussed the scheme of allowances for councillors for 2020 to 21 to approve an increase of 2% on a basic allowance, £4,500 to 4,600, and it was approved by all the Conservatives and the Labour voted in favour, but the Lib Dems abstained. So we asked them not to put it in the papers that us greedy Tories are after a pay rise. And we voted in favour of the development and design principle documents for housing. That's about
Sorry,
it.
what was that?
Thank you.
Sorry, what was that?
We voted in favour of development and design principle documents for housing and employment allocations in accordance with the local plan, and we voted in favour for the medium-term financial plan, and we all voted in favour for the empty home strategy, and we all voted in favour of housing revenue account for 30-year business plan. I'm trying to make it fast because we're having a quick meeting. So there was a lot of voting in favour of things.
There's nothing to do with our village at all.
No, but I'm filling you on what I do for my job.
Yes,
Yes.
I see.
That's what I'm meant to be doing, giving you an account of what I do. Thank you very much, Chairman.
Thank you, Polly. Right, item 3, Rod, recording declarations of interest.
That I'm aware of, Chairman.
Okay, item 4, minutes of the meeting held on the 20th of November. Right, item number 5, matters arising. Item A, yellow lines in Wedmore. Who wants to start? Okay.
Yes, well, Catherine's a fair gap. So I sent some pictures to Catherine Tyson saying, hang on, what's happening on the borough? Because all the white lines are there, and down by the village all the white lines are still there, and they've put the yellow lines on top, and it looks really rubbish. So I sent her some pictures, and then she came and had a look. She said, yes, I agree, it does look really rubbish. And she said, it's not what we told the contractors to do. So they did come back and do it properly. But the reason there was a gap was because there was a car still parked in it, and they couldn't do the lines over the top of the car. But I can't tell you about what's going on with the village hall. So,
Why is that?
because I don't know the answer.
What does Catherine Tyson say?
She said that they think it's, even though Dennis has been in touch with her, they still think they're not looking at the issue of going out of the village. They say there's enough space for a lorry or a coach to come round. So
But they haven't even put the yellow lines to the extent of the white ones.
No, they haven't. They haven't gone as far. No.
Seems like even if you look at their plan that they're working to, it says replace the white with the yellow. But they haven't even done that. They're about 6 foot short.
So
And then on Granville Road, they haven't done what we asked them to do. which
no,
is
but
to
I
go to the-
explained that to you because we discussed that after they'd been out to consultation, after we'd looked at it. And so
these
they'd already
consultation meetings.
The process is it 12 weeks?
something like that, yeah.
12 weeks,
That's
yeah.
money. They can't afford to then go back and do it again.
You know, I think from our initial walk around the village with Cathy at the time, I think she got her wires crossed with what we'd asked, and we're all in agreement with that. So I think, and you know, this is the first job that's been done in the village to try and ease congestion and get the traffic moving in however long since horse and carts were on the road. So I think we all said it was going to be a work in progress. So I think now that once we've got what we've already currently asked for and we're going to deal with what we've got, we'll review what we've got, and then we'll go back to Cathy and say, right, you know, and we can all monitor what's going on and get it adjusted to suit.
So can we just go back to Glenville Road? Where
You can't
are
just
you
rock up and
asking-
paint more lines
Where
there.
are you asking for them to finish?
Well, I haven't. I explained what you told me, and she said, well, that means we'll have to go to another consultation, and we don't have the funds currently.
So certainly lines that are missing outside or opposite the George, you know, that's quite a critical passing place.
Yes.
Outside Val Godfrey's there. You know,
Outside
that
the post office.
and the post
The old post
the old post office. So there are two critical points that really need addressing before anything else, I think. So
But they won't
Yes,
do
but can I
those
just
until
come
the...
back to Glanville Road? I'm very sorry, but the houses on Glanville Road are being hit by the lorries because people are parking on the opposite side of the road. There's no room for the lorries to go through. So these people whose houses are being hit, they have to repair the walls, nobody else repairs them, and it's happening often enough. So they are very concerned that we do get the yellow lines so that the cars cannot park where it is impossible for the lorries to go past with the car park. So can we put that on the agenda, please? That is really where we want the lines in Granville Road.
I wish they'd said
But they
something
go
at
up.
the consultation period.
Well, why didn't they? Because we
I don't know why
had
they
discussed it. We had discussed it at the meeting. We had discussed it at the meeting. That's why I said to them when they were doing it. But
it was
we had.
after.
You
we had
discussed it
definitely-
at a meeting after the consultation. You came to it later on, after we'd walked around the village and after it had been to consultation. It was then discussed, so it was too late to then add it on. They can't just add it
Well, are
on.
we going to add it on now?
we'll speak to Cathy.
We can do.
Well, as I say, it's an ongoing process. It really is.
So we'll discuss it the next highways
You
meeting.
know, the way it's going to go at the moment, there'll be
We've
no
discussed
parking
it.
in the village, will there?
But we've discussed it at the highways. Why do we need to discuss it again? It was passed. We don't need to discuss it again.
But they haven't got the funds to do it now, they're saying, to do another consultation.
Put
They
yellow lines
haven't
in
got
as a traffic
the
order.
funds.
There's a traffic order. It has to be an order. It's got to be notices put up as well as yellow lines. And you can't just amend a traffic order just like that.
It has to go through, so what, until they've got the funds.
I think what we should do though is this is their drawing for the one outside the village hall. And I'll read it. It says replace existing advisory markings outside village hall.
Yes, and where it's clear and where it's
so
clearly
there's a
haven't
traffic
carried
order for
out.
that and they haven't done it.
Yes, so where they haven't
Yeah.
clearly carried out the instruction,
You need to
then
come
look
back
at
and
them.
actually
You know, that's
Yeah, well,
and they won't have a quibble with it either because
So is
they're
that
obliged to
something
carry it out.
Polly or you?
Yeah, I'll email her tomorrow, finish all yellow lines not correct.
It is frustrating.
Money being wasted by coming backwards and forwards.
Yeah, that's the contractors not doing the reading of the sheet properly and doing it properly, you're absolutely right.
I saw them burning off the white lines off the borough.
Yes, because I've
Oh,
emailed
right,
and
yeah.
said you need to burn them
That
off,
was
and she
the
said
day
that's
More
what they were told to
confusing,
do,
and
so.
I think they must have had to
confusing.
burn some of them, or burn very
Yeah.
carefully because the yellows were there as well.
I know, it is crazy, I completely agree.
So that painted a wall and they'd take the tiles off afterwards or something.
Are we sure that when they come to resurface Church Street, that we've got the Church Street part?
Yeah, we have got it right, but they'll probably do it wrong and then they'll have to come back and sort it out.
So why don't you make sure that when they come, that somebody meets them to make sure that they do it correctly?
We were notified. That's what we
Why
wanted
didn't
to
he
do.
hear
In the
them
middle of the
coming?
night.
No one was notified that they were coming. I would have gone and met them. Polly would have. Anyone of
Yeah,
us
So
would
why
have.
don't we insist that they do? Why do we
That's what was in the
insist?
email, wasn't it?
They've got to do it, there's no traffic back, there's no cars parked there. They did cheddar in the middle of the night the other night.
But I would have certainly no
Yes,
problem
but
in
you see,
meeting them.
yes. I mean, somebody's willing to go out.
Yeah.
Necessarily, I'll go out in the middle of the night, but
Well,
I
well,
can't bear to waste money.
It'll be a big thing when they do Church Street,
Yeah.
because the whole road's going to be
Yeah.
resurfaced. So we'll know that they're coming and we'll be out there ready to get them.
Well, hopefully you can catch some coffee, but you know.
Yeah, we have enough funds for a pot of paint and a paintbrush, I believe.
Okay, so would anyone else like to add anything really regarding the lines? But as I say, it was always going to be a work in progress, so
At least it's a bit of progress.
it is indeed. So anyway, item 6, public participation.
That would be another.
None here. Item 7, financial matters.
Yes, the accounts have been done, Chairman, all the bills have been paid, and the accounts have just been checked. I've done them today, and they're balanced to the penny. All the members will get a copy of the full accounts before the end of the year. Probably when I come back after Christmas break. I'll get them to you.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Why are we paying for toilet cleaning at the planning fields, and which toilets are they?
Well, it's the outside toilet there, because before the pavilion went up, there was no public loos up there for the playing fields, for the children and the mothers. They happened to use the hedges. So when the pavilion was built, we asked them if they would incorporate a public loo on the outside of the building, which they've done. But the agreement,
I didn't even know it was there.
it is. Yeah, I've been in there. And the agreement is that we would pay for the cleaning of it, as we pay for a cleaning of our own toilets in the borough.
Okay.
And that, the landlord agrees to pay. He cleans it every day and unlocks it for us. But it's a public facility.
Okay.
It's nothing to do with the inside of the building. Otherwise, there's nowhere for the kids to go.
It's the Bowls Club end of the building.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very nice. It's very switch.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, mate.
Oh yes.
Okay, so minutes, item 8, sorry, minutes of the meeting of the Finance and General Purposes Committee held on Thursday 28th of November.
I did circulate the draft minutes and also the proposed budget as well. Presume everybody's seen it.
Yeah.
I've got copies here if anybody wants to have a refresh.
Yeah, I'd like a refresh.
So it's a draw.
I guess something else to do on.
Fill in the squares. This was the budget on the minutes was agreed by the members of the Finance Committee, and the Chairman and I are rather hoping that everybody will nod through the proposal that the budget be accepted and we do not raise the precept.
Any comments? No?
Is it usual not to raise the precept?
Well, we haven't raised it for 3 years. We seem to have
Sufficient
funds in the kitty at the moment to
carry out what we need to.
With the precept, I mean, this will go on year,
No,
or
it's every year it's
Yeah.
decided. Sedgemoor are now waiting on this meeting to tell us what our precept's going to be. £65,000 is our precept.
Yeah, really what this will happen next year and the year after, and the year after, as far as government.
Yes, and if we decide we need some more money, we can raise the parish precept.
Because I did hear talk that might be changed. I mean, there's a whole concept.
Well,
Nothing
we
yet.
don't know about that.
Is there any way that we could have like another heading or another column which actually just shows the sill payments?
Yeah, it's a very new thing, of course. So
I know it's a new thing, and I just thought it would be quite useful to actually know what sill money is coming in, because it's incorporated, isn't it?
On the notes of income.
Is it possible to do
it's
something?
mentioned, yeah, it's mentioned on the notes, Glennis, I think.
Yeah, I know, just-
Item 1 it was.
yeah, item 1, sill payments due. It's just, yeah.
I can include it when we get it.
Yeah, I know.
It was very much a shot in the dark at the moment with regard to what we can guarantee that's income-wise from SIL. It's
We got a projection for the whole year.
Yeah.
But if that's dependent, of course, on these planning applications actually going to
Brilliant. I mean, it would be nice just to see it and see what we're getting.
Yeah, well, I can certainly include that.
Yeah, thank you.
Can we have a proposal that the budget be adopted for next year?
I'll second it.
okay.
So
Thank
everybody
you.
happy with that?
Okay. Okay, item 9. To consider a request for an additional grant to the Wedmore Fields Management Committee to complete the first floor of the pavilion.
Well, Pete Brown came to the meeting before, last meeting, and talked about this. As you're probably aware, the Parish Council made some pretty sizable donations to the pavilion, like 15,000, maybe a little bit more actually. What Pete is asking for now, he said that if the Parish Council will agree to give him some extra money, perhaps over this year and next financial year, next 2 years, it opens a door for him to go with his baby bowl to other ones like the National Lottery Fund, because you see, once the parish is up and running with it all, he said it opens lots and lots of doors for him. I'm trying to think what the actual figure was he wanted to raise now.
£4,000 a year.
Yeah.
8 in total.
Yeah, he's looking for the Parish Council to make a grant of £4,000 in the coming year and £4,000 this year. And the chairman and I thought it might be better if we did something sort of tangible with the money rather than put it into a big pot. So we suggested some sort of piece of equipment or something, and the Parish Council will pay for that. And the chairman suggested a lift. We need a lift to get up, disabled lift to get up from the ground floor to the first floor. I think it's going to cost a bit more than £8,000, but at least we said a statement of intent for £4,000 this year and £4,000 next year. We could use SIL money for that as well. I think that will be acceptable to the committee.
I've got those figures from when I went to the Painfield Committee. I haven't got the notes with me today, but
Dennis, did you
give
get
us a figure for those that lift?
Dennis, did you get your figures through that you asked for coming in or not?
No, from Pete. Well, the plan, no, nothing.
Right.
My two concerns are, firstly, we need to put together what's called a infrastructure delivery plan for the SIL money.
Yeah.
Now, if you're spending other monies, it's irrelevant. It comes out of another policy. But if it's SIL money, you've got to be able to justify it by having an infrastructure delivery plan, which I think, Mr. Chairman, you said you'd put on for January.
Yeah.
And I don't think we should be spending, I don't think we can spend any SIL money until we have approved the infrastructure delivery plan. That's the first point. If you want to do something, we want to do something separate, fine. The second point was that I went back to Pete because I felt that, as we'll have to do with all people that want SIL money, we're going to have a justification. And part of this infrastructure delivery plan is to be able to show to the community a transparency of where we're located. And of course, for example, the Pilkin Street would probably take pretty much all our SIL money if we wanted it to, but obviously you can't do that. So I think there's a danger that we will be criticised if we spend any SIL money without approving first the infrastructure delivery plan. That's my point. Secondly, as I said, I really would like to see, I mean, I said to Pete, I can be your biggest advocate or your biggest supporter, but I'd just like to have the plan so I can go through what you've done. And I think everybody should. Just as if there's anybody wants to make an application into this, what they call the ITL, then they need to put a proper case together, and we need to, and obviously the idea of levering other money is great, and that's what we should be looking for.
I mean, I think Pete is just basically put his towel in to show that they've lost a certain budget, and they would like it's reflected that budget is lost, so they want to make sure that they don't miss out on future considerations. And I think that actually, as you say, I think the whole thing does have to be seen and round, and I think probably rather than just a quick discussion about it, now we would need something a little bit more in depth, because there is, with the new houses coming and everything else, which is of course the reason why it's become so much of a relevance. I think we need to have a little bit of thought as to how that is going to impact. I know there's a neighbourhood plan and everything, which is spectacular, to put it mildly, but I think we need to think about it.
Seal money is the goose that laid the golden egg, and it only lasts for so long, and we'll be. So we have to think about it.
Do we need to have the seal money to budget to give 4,000?
No, we've got 12. We've got 12 in our 12,000 in our grant.
We budgeted 12,000
So could we not do this irrelevant and let them give them the impetus to get this project finished?
Yeah.
And they're not finishing it for Pete Brown. They're finished for the village.
Oh no, I think.
And not just the village. The
I do
area.
get a bit of issue with it's. There is a commercial venture going on there as well.
I understand that.
And the people that have spoken to me about it don't want to see money going into this pot, where actually they don't know what it's going for. So that's why I've said I've got a specific bit of kit, and we can go right. The Parish Council have supplied that item. Because there's not one bit up there at the moment that the Parish Council can say that we've paid for. We've contributed to that project. But not one item.
A nice little sticker on it saying donated by the Parish Council. Get paid for by.
We've spent a lot of money on the play area and donated a lot of money towards that. So it'd be nice to see an item that.
So I'm picking up your point. You see, when Pete did his presentation, it was very much geared on the fact that they had these previous grants through this RLT, and that they wanted the seal to replace that. The seal doesn't replace that, so it is separate. But if you're looking at monies, like you just said, Mr. Chairman, out of seal, it's a separate issue.
Not seal money.
We have allayed, money for grants anyway.
It's looking for a 2-year deal, really. 4,000 this year, 4,000 next year.
It's the commitment of the money that we're giving the impetus to get more money.
Does this have to be decided tonight?
Yeah, well, yes, it does. We can't give on directly.
Only that their next meeting is the Monday before ours in January. So it might be worth just. They doesn't obviously discuss
putting it off and putting it off, and this is where we
haven't put anything off. You only come to us last month, so we haven't put anything off at all.
But we knew it was coming, didn't we?
The way they manage bits and pieces that make me sort of uncomfortable from going to their meeting. They turn people down who will willingly come and give them money. There was a running club from Burnham who wanted to go and use the facilities, but they don't make it easy for them to do that. Right. I did put in, I will be open and transparent, I did put in a request for a football club to use it. That was turned down for completely different reasons. It was turned down for political reasons that I fully appreciate. But in terms of the running club, from Burnham, they wanted to start a little running club, and if people are coming to them wanting to rent their mugger,
So what was the reason behind it?
Because they might mess up the green, the football pitches. Right. They might actually go out and run on the football pitches and make them muddy, even though they've just asked to rent the mugger space.
Yeah, but that's quite a standard concern, isn't it, for a lot of running clubs actually, and it does cause a lot of damage. And if they went running in this, for instance, you can create a lot of damage on the.
But the running
mugger is multi-surface.
It's a multi-surface.
They want to just run on the mugger pitch. It's only for little kids. It's only for little small people. Quite little. But it's just, you know, that's just my concern. It was just like, on one hand you're saying you don't, on one hand it was quite obvious sitting through the meeting that money was a requirement, and they were talking about all these other grants they wanted to go for with the FA. Fantastic, you know, it's great that they've got all that impetus and all of that enthusiasm to do so. But on the other hand, you know, beggars can't be choosers.
Are you on the committee there?
I go on as a parish council member to.
Do you have a business plan and financial plan?
I didn't see one on the day, but the next meeting is
Who's their chairman? Who's their treasurer?
Richard
Richard Bamwell.
Yeah, Richard Bamwell's the
Yeah,
treasurer.
yeah. I mean, he'll probably be quite busy at the moment. That's probably why you haven't got.
Well, funny enough, he was the one who proposed. He was the one who proposed the running club.
He's an accountant, he should be
Oh,
preparing
he's an accountant.
the accounts and planning, all
It's
the
not planned.
But he does it
It's on the
voluntarily,
night.
he's not paid to do it. He's a volunteer, so
So
maybe
maybe all volunteers.
Yes, but
and we help the village. I'm sorry, that doesn't wash with me.
Well, my letter that I sent him, my email, which I think I circulated, was purely about the fact that the infrastructure delivery plan, we've got to be transparent.
Yeah, well, if we've got to do this, why
But if
don't
it's
you
not
come
to- if
to
it's-
the next meeting with me in
Yeah.
January, and then that buys us time to create this plan anyway. Even though we're talking about giving them non-SIL money, you can.
Yeah, the
we can-
non-SIL money is a separate
we
issue.
can talk to them, because it's the Monday before our meeting here, so just whether
So
that
we have a
helps.
proposal.
I mean, we could basically say that our general view is that we're not opposed to it, but we just need some
Well, we're
financial
ready to make
elements
Which was asked for, the last
sorted
meeting.
out.
I think that does sum it up. I don't say they've had a disproportionate amount, but a lot of money has gone that way for a very ambitious scheme, which in the very first presentation was sort of foolproof nearly financed by the grants that were coming in. And I think we've either got to, I know the camera's on, but if we either got to say or we've got to make it clear that it is not a pot which is just, you know, A bottomless pot. a bottomless pot. I think we have got to, because there are other things.
And I'm glad you said that, because we've got the Harvest Home committee coming next month as well, asking for money about doing some drainage works to the village green where the bonfire's being held.
And we've got the scout group coming as
So
well.
the scouts, so we've got, you know, there's this, so we need to really get this,
This is, you know.
definitely, so,
Defer it to the next meeting.
okay.
On a quickly separate issue, Sue raised it a couple of weeks ago. We only get, for the whole of the strong box, we only get 15%. And I think you queried that.
Well, I'm trying to get hold of them.
I think it's to do with when our neighbourhood plan was approved.
It was
And when
approved
we are-
in June.
And I don't
It
think
was-
Sedgmore are going to kind of encourage us to get 25.
No, I think they deliberately made sure that Strongbox got in before they had to give
Yes.
us.
Mm.
Yeah,
Can I
so
ask
that
you-
we only
careful
got
what is-
15 and not 25.
Right.
Can I ask why you're going to defer to the next meeting? So I'd like to give Pete an answer tomorrow. It's Ben Green for us.
So that we can have more evidence of.
I think we've got to say something like that.
Because Dennis wants to do the.
I think that you came up with a very good scheme with Fairview, and I actually would propose that we go with the scheme that you came up with, that we put 4,000 in this year, 4,000 next year, and we put the lift in and we have it for the parish given by the Parish Council, and it's, you know, we have a plaque on it, so people know we've done that. And sorry about that.
But I think we don't know if there's anything to put a plaque on, do we?
I'm not worried about a plaque, to be fair, I'm not really worried about that, because everyone will know that we paid for it. But
You were indicating was
that's the thing, you know,
Yeah, but
there's,
the project was the lift for the disabled people. That was the project.
but like everything, there isn't a specific cost associated with that lift,
That's right.
because it'll impact on various other elements of that build. So, you know, if they could narrow it out and we could have a cost, then I think we should go for that one specific project.
Yeah.
that wouldn't be in isolation of them also requesting further monies, would it?
I think sort of in a way, we're going to put money into it irrespective
I think
of
we
whether they
need
get
to.
additional cash anyway.
Yeah, I think.
And if they can get additional cash off the back of it, then really good for them. But I think that there is going to be a need for, I'll articulate that there. I think that what they've got up there is a hell of an asset for the village.
There's no
And I think it
dispute
would
with
be
that.
great if we could sort of say that the PC has at least some direct, tangible there. And then in terms of the sort of the broader accounts and any further requests and whatever, we can sort of have a look and see exactly what they are doing in terms of getting money from elsewhere.
Well, the project should be closing out before long anyway, so
Yeah.
there's, you know, if they're saying that they require us to shell out eight grand in the next 2 years, then within 2 years I would hope that project's finished.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. They should finish very soon.
They haven't got
Anywhere near the money.
anywhere near the money to do the upper floor.
Right.
Anywhere near it.
Right.
They have got to do the electrics, they've got to do the insulation, you know, they haven't got any.
Do they do any fundraising or do they just apply for grants?
No, they do a lot of fundraising as well. They do, various clubs do it, don't they?
The clubs
All
within
the different clubs. The bowls club, the
Football, the tennis.
football, the tennis, they all do it.
I mean, I guess what we don't want is to spend
Yeah,
a lot of money on a lift that goes nowhere.
The lift that goes nowhere.
Yeah, for a bit
Well,
like that before.
well, exactly.
If it can't be used upstairs, then there's no point having it, is there?
I mean, I would say if the Parish Council was mindful to approve the 8,000 for over 2 years, then I think it should be conditional upon no other funding until we saw the business plan, financial plan, and we developed our infrastructure delivery plan.
I'd like to comment on what they
Yeah.
say. I'd really like you to comment on what they say before we make a decision.
Well, this is this, isn't it? You know, is it?
It needs to be deferred, so I think we need to talk about it.
We are talking about it. What we're going to do next time is talk about school again.
Well, I think having a clearer idea of what the finances are
And Dave help pay.
after their next meeting.
Sorry, Joe?
I was just saying about the defibrillator, we gave money towards the defibrillator, but that wasn't, you know, there was additional costs required upon that as well, and in the end, committee member called Dave topped it up himself.
What?
Dave Ash?
Yes, I don't know his name, I don't know his last name.
Dave Ash.
Dash.
He paid the remainder himself.
Yeah, we paid up 50-50 on that.
No, but they didn't pay it.
Oh, right.
By the time he'd finished everything, there still wasn't enough, so Dave paid.
Oh.
Personally, he made a donation and paid personally. So it's just that's why I just like somebody who's a little bit more financial than me to just come along and listen, and that's why he suggested deferring just into January.
We're only deferring it for a few weeks. I mean, really, 'cause Christmas is going to take out 2 weeks of any thinking time for anyone. And then we get into the new year, so perhaps we can just, for the sake of financial regularity,
Rushing it through now,
push it through.
I think,
Yeah.
So I think potentially the next meeting then we could have either two proposals. Fund a bit of kit, or we just say there's 8k over 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that more or less what we're saying? Yeah.
Right, lovely, thank you.
I'll let you know, bring a friend.
Bring a
This
friend.
way, it's a public meeting.
Yeah.
Anyone can go.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
You can. Item 10, to consider a speaker for the annual assembly.
Well, benefit new members, Chairman, the annual assembly is it's something to do with the Parish Council, but it's a legal requirement in every village in the land, and it's usual for the Parish Council Chairman to normally chair that meeting.
Right, a bit nervous.
Yeah. So ours is held on the Wednesday after the Parish Council meeting in March, so it's the 4th Wednesday in March, and it's always held at the Masonic Hall.
25th.
25th indeed. For those of you who haven't been before, we never know how many people are coming. You could get 10, you could get 20, you could get 6 there. But we always have a guest speaker. and the vicar always comes along and presents some church prizes to school children, and that puts bums on seats normally. We have the Henry Butt Trophy, which is a civic award presented by the Parish Council. That's always presented that night. I've had a request from, nobody looking for speakers, I've had a request from Barry Hamlin, Baz Hamlin, at Axbridge, who was he's on the council there, he was a former mayor of Axbridge. He's the chairman of the Sea Cadets, Chilvani Sea Cadets over there, and he wants to come along and talk to the annual assembly and try and drum up support for our new members. So he's a volunteer. I thought it'd be too good to miss. Really, the same as trying to get somebody else.
I've already said yes.
Well, it's not my job to say yes, but if everybody's happy, I will get him to come along.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then moving on
Well,
to item 11 regarding
this time of the year now, we've got to get your heads together. The Henry Butt Trophy is a civic award for do good in the village. It cannot be presented to parish councillors, but everybody who receives it has to be a group or an individual who live within the parish of Wedmore, who've done some good deed during the last 12 months. Last year we gave it to David Ewins, who masterminded all the finger post renovations around the parish, and before that the Tuesday Club have had it.
I've had it.
You've had it, sorry, yes. You weren't on the council.
I was on the
time.
council.
No. So it can't go to any councillor or the clerk. But you do need to think about perhaps some suggestions. I've put an advert in the Isle of Wedmore News. Last year that got a lot of suggestions, but mainly for one person. But that person wasn't accepted, but we'll see what happens this year. Okay. But say, just get your thinking caps on, it's got to be done and dusted by March.
Okay. Item 12, to make arrangements for the clerk's annual review.
Yeah, I have to be reviewed every year, usually by the chairman and one or two other councillors.
Stand up on the table.
Yes, it's quite a process. It's quite a process.
Yeah, it does take a while. And my annual salary is based on that review as well. But normally it's the chairman, the vice chairman, or one other, and I think Polly's done it for the last couple of years. And we do it on a Tuesday morning down here over a cup of coffee. So.
Okay. I've had a cup of coffee.
You've got carrot cake one day.
Is it nice?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like
Okay, so date to be arranged.
So a date to be arranged in January.
Okay.
Okay, item 13. Issues and questions raised by councillors. Sue? Anything? Polly? Jackie? Pete? Anything?
No, not really. No,
What, really or not?
Well, no, it's just it's a general sort of thing, but it's, you know, are we ever likely to get some of the damage that has been done to the roads? You know, it really is unbelievable, but, you know,
Following all the roadworks?
Sorry?
Following all the roadworks?
Well, yeah.
All the road diversions?
Roadworks from the True Speed and from waterworks and everything else. But it's not so much, I mean, the actual roads. I mean, Stoke Road, we didn't go down it for 14 weeks, we couldn't. But I mean, that's good because it wasn't worn out. But everywhere else is just really becoming ridiculous.
And all the verges and they're pushed into all the ditches. Do you think they'd have a machine going round afterwards?
Your end as well.
Just tidying everything up, but
we managed 9 the other day because we couldn't.
Yeah.
I know it's just an individual, but it's just awful. And it's, you know, I don't know what can be done about it. But
well, we can raise it at the highways. Polly's on about the highways meeting next month, so
yeah, 22nd
we can raise it and then get some of the, at least the verges reinstated and stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll be probably looking at
So
2024.
Is that not Somerset?
It is, yeah. Yeah, highways, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like at the top of the Billings Hill.
Yeah.
I mean, what that should be actually is what they call an overrun.
That's it, a low level.
So you bring the curb in to where make it wider, but you basically white line it so the cars don't use it. It's like an overrun for lorries. The reality is that it's got that situation because it's too tight for
It's still denote the boundary, but low level road surface and yeah.
They are going to replace the bollards up there.
They'll get knocked down again. It's not.
We did talk about it about 3 years ago, didn't we? Because the homeowner there was quite interested in not giving, but certainly allowing for
And then
the road surface to be
we had
increased.
Mr Huxtable say that he was thinking about doing something at the top of Billings Hill. Do you remember that?
Cameras on.
I think
I
it's
think he's still
a
thinking
good
about it.
idea if like
So
Pete
hopefully
suggests,
he will.
that he makes a list of where it needs to be done,
Yes.
rather than just
Yeah.
coming to a meeting and we just have a sort of vague idea that we need to do some things. I think we need a complete, we need a list at that meeting.
No, I
so
can
we
do.
know
I can.
forward.
Dennis and I can go around. We can do a photographic report of
Yeah,
areas
as long as we
that
get them at an
need to be
interview.
highlighted. Likewise, I'm sorry, going off tangent really. Same with drainage. If anyone sees any road drains that are blocked, take a photo of it, get a a location, and then we can put that into Polly as well. So
They've done quite a lot of drainage.
they have.
Something recently.
Yeah, but she likes busy. Anyway, Emma, anything?
Well, mine's the same really. I just keep getting complaints from residents in Snipe
Yeah.
Lane.
They filled some in of those potholes already,
Oh, have they?
and they will be done apparently in the next 28 days.
But it's not just the, so he's not just complaining about the damage to the road, he's also complaining about the muck on the road.
Yeah, well they did, after I spoke to Alice,
Yeah,
they did
yeah.
sweep it, and she said I'll get on to him to sweep it more often.
You can,
It's tough.
it's a farm. You can, there is a special place on the highway, on the council website where you can actually highlight on the council website, but if you've got an issue, why don't you point it in directions of the central council website?
David Ewens was out with David Huxtable the car yesterday for an hour, going
Road.
round each house, all round that area, looking at the problem was, because David's getting quite upset.
Yeah.
He says, I'm under the public, I'm going to raise it.
Yeah.
So
He
David
was having
Huxtable-
an issue with that.
Okay, one at a time. One at a time.
And then he take them left.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
Well, I was just going to
Sorry.
say, but there's not very much I can do, is there?
No,
You're meeting with Highways in January.
No, we're having a highways meeting here.
Would
That
that,
Parish time
does that sort of thing come up in
Yeah,
that?
and then we take it to, send it all to Huxtable and Somerset County Council, yeah.
All you could do is just report it, and that's all.
But I have reported those things for you, and I have spoken to
Yeah.
Alice, and she did get him to do it that weekend, and then literally a few hours later it was filthy again.
I just want to make sure everybody was happy with the update I sent out, and that a couple of things, that you picked up these graphs here, which is quite interesting, on the peak traffic times, which is well over 200 per hour in each direction, which is quite a high traffic volume. And lots more discussions with the police, as I mentioned in there, and in fact they got held up with traffic orders from Somerset, and with their own situation with MOTs on cars. Bottom line, January there will be some speed traps. They were supposed to happen in December, but they didn't, so they'll be in January now. And I am working on a plan. Anybody got any queries, just, I can show you what I'm doing if you want to go through anything. But eventually, January, hopefully I'll have a full report of what the recommendation is for the changes on that road. And then we'll see if we can get it through Highways, Somerset Highways.
Is this from the police, Greg? From the police?
No, this is our report, but we have to have it supported by the Avon and Somerset Police. And there's a lot of legislation, I think I indicated some to you. There's quite a lot of legislation on things to do. But anyway, if you've got any queries, come back to me.
So going off the back of that, and I should have mentioned it in the finance part of the agenda, we have allowed to purchase another speed indicator device. So now we've adopted our finance for the next year, then Dennis can put in planning in getting another one purchased, and we
This
can.
yellow jacket, you really feel powerful. Never seen so many stoplights on cars.
It works. Nandy.
Yeah, a few things really to think about for the next meeting, really. Small thing, really. In the minutes, I was wondering if they could be changed slightly so that we can have action points flagged up on them quite clearly, just so that we can see exactly who's responsible for what and whether it's been pushed to another thing or not. As I said, we can talk about that another time. Also, I think a few months, in fact last year before
I joined, there was a talk about climate and emergencies and climate emergency, and I think the PC said that we would say that there was a climate emergency, and I think if that's the case, then we should treat it like that, and we should have something in the minutes to see whether we managed to help or progress matters in any way, or whether there's any issue that people have raised that could help us along that sort of way. Also, food bank, Cheddar had their food bank attacked last, or 2 weeks ago, and actually I think they've done quite well out of the publicity really. But having had a collection here last week, it struck me that perhaps we could be thinking about having our own little collection on a regular basis here, and perhaps link up with Cheddar. But as I said, this is just talks for the future, just little things to think about. And one other thing I was going to say. Oh yeah, there's one other thing I'd just like to also put our thinking caps on. Over the past few weeks we've had a general election. I think every single party talked about planting X number of trees.
To replace all the paper that they shot through our letterbox.
Indeed.
Tree assessments.
All of that is kind of calculated for actually. But I think that it would be quite useful if the PC could give a little bit of thought as to how perhaps we can help in that. There are neighbours of ours, for instance, who are quite happy to plant extra trees along their own field. They've got a field with lots of hedges. They could add an extra couple of rows of trees there, but they do need help. And I'm just thinking over the next few meetings or months we could give a little bit of thought as to how we could perhaps encourage people to do it, because I don't think the manifestos have actually said how it's all going to work and where they're going to be able to put the money and how they're going to implement it. And I think that it's a roots thing. It's for us to try and sort rather than big, well, in conjunction with big government. So just a little thought on that, and I think that's probably me done.
I'll answer two. Yes, I will actually.
Yeah.
So, due to the success of the collection we did on Saturday for the food bank, we're doing it again this Saturday. With a view, but it's not just Cheddar; it's the Cheddar Valley. So there's some quite harrowing stories that I heard when I went over. Actually, it's there's one story of a guy living in a car with his mother that they were just handing food out, and it's it was quite a shock really. But and that was very local. So we're going to do that again, and then we'll take a view of doing something else. And then trees. I'm meeting.
So you're doing one on Saturday morning?
I'll do it again on Saturday, top of the Lurburn again.
Do you have help already?
No, it's just as I emailed out. If people want to help, they can help. Turn up, donate, whatever. I feel we're in a position to do something about it. Let's do something about it.
Yeah.
You know, there's this underlying thing within Wedmore. Everyone think we're a very, very affluent area, but there is an underlying need. There really is. It's like two halves really. So I think we can all do something about it, but no obligation. Please don't feel that. I know it's really close to Christmas. So.
Sorry, it kind of...
Second one, the trees.
Yeah, so this one's linked to the food bank thing. So I had a message through to the Parish Council page on Facebook regarding the cafe in Cheddar, asking us to put out advertising. They're doing Christmas lunches, and again that they're looking for donations towards that. So I'll let you read through it, and then I just wanted to...
So lots of spray.
Whether we put that up on our parish site, so that's come off the back of doing and advertising.
And just very quickly on that also, is that's in Cheddar rather than here, and some people will have difficulty getting over to Cheddar.
Yeah, definitely.
We don't see that part of people's lives, but I gave it a lift to a chap in Glastonbury a few months ago, and he was walking from Castle Carey to Shepton Mallet, and you just sort of think, you know, there's people who have to walk distances that we can just drive in a second without even thinking about it.
That's right.
But you know, it might be quite useful to sort of satellite that area here. But as I said, let's talk about it once and
Definitely, yeah.
talk through the.
Yeah, we can do something about it, I'm sure. So just going to the trees, I'm meeting with a couple of landowners in the next couple of weeks about them giving up not huge parcels of land, but certainly increasing hedgerows and what you just mentioned really. So that'll happen probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
But
that's
advertise that.
It will. I want to get the foot in the door first before you know. And I've been talking with Vanessa about it, so there is plans afoot. So yeah, we'll be that. So, Joe, you done?
No, there was just another thing. We've had in Cockplate particularly and Crickham a number of supposedly groups coming round. So a young offenders group came round and was selling at the door, and then we had somebody again yesterday. I did end up phoning the police helpline to kind of work out how do we know who's who and who's what, and do they, when you have these sort of rehabilitation groups come into the area, are we let know? But we don't seem to be. But I did get told that there's certain licences they must have, so I was
have a card to show you.
yes, so I was going to just sort of say with Dennis whether we put something in the Isle of Wedmore News to see what these things actually looked like, so people know what they're looking for and what to be asking for. Because it was, he was quite aggressive yesterday because we'd already bought from one a couple of weeks ago. He was a bit.
So what did you do? Throw rotten food at him?
No, I bought something from him as well. But you know, but it is useful for people to know what they're meant to be looking for.
So what are they after? Money.
They want to sell, they get commission on.
Yeah.
Because people who are just out of prison, things like that. You know, it's to try and get them back into work. It's an honourable thing for them to be doing. And something we should encourage them. But yes, we do need to make sure that we're people, the right people.
I haven't heard of it before. In the middle of Wedmore, in Church Street, they don't come to my doors.
No, that's another reason.
We can't cut the
If you want to walk around Cockplate, Crickham and Clewer in the pouring rain yesterday afternoon, then they're obviously doing it. It's not. I don't think it's a scam. I mean, you should be his licence and everything.
Okay, Matt, anything?
No, I was going to just say about the roads, but I did do a thing on the highways. You can do a map, can't you? Click on the map. Because from sort of your place down through Sand, it's just ruined, isn't it?
Devastated.
You know, so I did that. I was going to, obviously Pete's done it as well. I mean, that's just, I mean, this time of year, the way it is. But when the roads were closed, and a lot of people and the coaches and the buses were going through, and the lorries, you know, it just buggered it up really.
Yeah, careful.
There's that drain on Sand Road that's permanently blocked.
Suzanne, anything?
Yes, what about, have we shelved this business outside the...
Currently, we will talk about it though.
Oh, when's that?
Not tonight.
No, I mean, are you thinking in 6 months' time or sort of
We will
6 months?
do, yes.
And what about the lights that are coming up the
We
steps?
will now do something about it as a safety measure.
Thank you.
There's a wiring problem in the roof.
Yeah, so we're going to have to trace it back. So, but we won't be talking about the disabled bay tonight.
Just so that I'm brought up to date.
No, I will bring you up to date.
Thank you.
Glenys.
I've got nothing. No.
Sure. She said nothing to it.
Sure.
No, I'll talk about the tree in the cemetery with Sue and Adrian another time.
Okay, correspondence.
Very little at the moment. I circulate everything I'm getting in, because most people on email now.
Okay, committee reports, cemetery. No. Facilities, allotments and footpaths.
That was deferred until January due to...
Yes. Finance and general purposes, good there. Housing.
Having a meeting on the 22nd of...
That's highways.
Oh, sorry.
Highways, car park and brook.
Meeting on the 22nd.
22nd, we say 22nd, yeah?
Yeah, 22nd of January.
Okay. Planning.
8th of January.
Yeah.
And reports from reps on committees. Either Wedmore News.
Nothing.
There is.
No, we haven't got another meeting scheduled till January, I think. I don't know, but I did.
We shut Blackford, haven't we?
I shut Blackford, slide off, take it up best I could, and we put a note on saying, don't claim anything that's taped up. Every time I drive past and check, it's still up, and it is.
Okay. South
No.
Playing Fields Management, we've gone through that. Village Halls.
Nothing.
No?
We've had the annual general meeting, and we've still got the same, well, there's the same officers, but we haven't got a secretary now, but that's it.
Right, okay.
And there was discussion about creating a new resilience type committee. And I don't quite know who put their hands up for that. I didn't quite see it in the minutes actually of 2 months ago. But I think we were going to.
Sean was going to.
It was Sean.
Yeah, it was Sean. I put my hand up, and I think there are a few others. And I didn't take their names. But we ought to get that as a heading. And
Okay.
that can be in January as well.
Yeah.
So we've got a new chairman at Blackford, Mr Chairman, Ian Lewis.
Oh, right, okay.
Who lives down on the corner.
Yeah.
And he's volunteered, which he's really good. He came to the cafe the other day and it was brilliant. Sort of, well, I mean, Steve was fine, but yeah, Ian's obviously very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Item 19, matter report and items for the next meeting. Currently nothing from me. Anything else from the members?
We've got a chance to email me if we take away the go on the agenda.
Many thanks for coming tonight, and I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.